Our school, our community, our home. The Warrior News starts right now.
Good morning, Wilson. Today is Friday, September 13th, 2019. I'm Samantha Mutter.
And I'm Vance Johnson.
If you are nominated for Homecoming Court, please see Tyler Carlbon to set up an interview for the Warrior News.
Have you ever wanted to try acting? Do you think improv games look really fun? Each fall we offer an informal club called Improv Club, where experienced actors as well as beginners can try improvisational activities and games. There's no script, so we make it up as we go. Our first session will be this Tuesday, September 17th, 2:45 to 3:15 in the auditorium. You do not need to be in drama club to join us, so new members are welcome. See Mrs. Brown with questions.
Attention class officers. Please report to room 212 on Monday, September 16th at the beginning of the period for your yearbook photo.
Seniors, write this date down and tell your parents. Wednesday, September 25th at 6 p.m. we will have financial aid night in the WAHS cafeteria. This is an important time to learn about how to pay for college. A representative from PA Higher Education will be there to give information and answer all questions about the FAFSA form, scholarships, grants, loans, etc.
Let's now send you over to Tyler, who got some advice from our upperclassmen.
Hello, Wilson. I'm back for another great year. Great. So I'm here. I'm going to go around and ask some seniors if they have any advice for the underclassmen. All right, I'm here with Sage, Emily, and Victor. And the question is, do you have any advice for the underclassmen?
Nah, just walk faster in the hallways.
Anything else?
Yeah, walk faster in the hallways.
You guys have to walk when you're in the hallway. You can't stand there and hug your friends. No, keep moving.
Okay, Victor?
Make sure you're on top of all of your assignments, because later on in the high school career it really gets a hold of you.
Do your homework.
Do you do your homework?
Yes.
Are you a scholar, athlete?
No.
Listen to your teachers and do your work. It's not that hard.
Is senioritis a thing?
Yeah, I think it is, but
Are you falling into that?
not yet, but I see it happening.
Okay, I decided to bend the rules here and happen to ask the junior president, and Brady Werkheiser, and do you have any advice for the underclassmen?
Don't be annoying in the halls. Just get to class. Don't just shut your mouth. And don't be annoying and don't scream throughout the halls. Walk normally. Just don't be annoying. That's my advice.
I'm here with future president and Anthony Michi. Do you have any advice for the underclassmen?
Listen to your teachers. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And high school's a blast. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Is high school a breeze, as they say?
As long as you work hard and do what you're supposed to, then yeah.
Do you work hard?
Yeah, I like to think so at least.
Great. All right, Sage?
Read your books,
Why?
because read them.
Thanks, Tyler. Any student interested in earning a free or half-price yearbook should be selling items for the fundraiser. Give orders and payment to Mrs. Gurrow in room 212 by September 19th.
Fall zoology students interested in attending the shark and stingray trip. There will be a meeting Monday, September 16th, right after school in room 101. See Mrs. Bird with any questions.
The marching band uses the student lot to practice on after school on Thursdays starting at 3 p.m. All cars must be moved prior to 3 p.m. Thank you for your cooperation.
There will be a hallway decorating meeting today after school for juniors. Stay tuned for an internship opportunity with Molly, but that's all we have for you today, Wilson. Make sure to follow us on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram at Warrior News 15 to keep up to date with the latest from us. I'm Samantha Mutter.
And I'm Vance Johnson.
Have a great day, Wilson.
Hi, I'm Molly Veers. I'm reporting for the Warrior News, and I'm here with Rachel Hogan, the Executive Director of Nurture Nature Center, which is located in downtown Easton. I'm here to ask her some questions. What is the mission of the Nurture Nature Center?
Nurture Nature Center was formed in 2007 in response to the repeated flooding in the Delaware River Basin that happened in 2004, 5, and 6. We were formed as a center for flood education, outreach, and communication. And we opened our doors to the public in 2011 with a great new exhibit called Science on a Sphere, at which time it became clear that the community had many environmental issues and risks and hazards that it wanted to learn about. And so the center has become a community resource for engaging the community in learning about a wide range of environmental topics. And we use science, art, and dialogue programming in order to do this work. So regularly at Nurture Nature, we'll have art exhibits, science lectures, discussion forums, community events that teach the community about the important environmental issues facing the Lehigh Valley region and globally.
Okay. So this year, the center is offering students at Wilson the opportunity to participate in an internship with the Nurture Nature Center. Will you briefly describe the big ideas or purpose of this internship?
Yes, this internship is a really neat opportunity for students to get to know more about their community, develop leadership skills, and be paid for a pretty neat opportunity to work with students from Wilson High as well as Easton and Bangor area high schools. Nurture Nature Center received a grant from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and it is designed to create a 4-year community project called Create Resilience, which will help the community, including high school students as well as residents, to better understand the nature of hazards that are facing our region and strategies for mitigating. And together we want to build a shared vision of resilience for the community. So the big question here in Wilson would be, what would Wilson area look like under a more resilient future? What would it look like if it were more resilient to climate change and to future hazards? So the opportunity is to engage with 4 students from Wilson High, and we'll also be selecting 4 from Bangor and 4 from Easton High. So there'll be a cohort of 12 high school students who will be working with us over the course of the next year to learn these ideas along with us. In particular, in year 2, we'll be looking at, of this project, because we did this last year, we'll be really looking at having identified many of the hazards in the area, what are mitigation strategies, what are things that people in this region could do together to become more resilient.
Okay, so it sounds like a good internship, but how do you apply for it?
The application is really simple. There's an online application on our website at Nurture Nature Center, and you'll fill out some basic information about yourself and your experience and your interests, and then you'll tell us why doing something like this is interesting to you. And then we last year received quite a large number of applications across the 3 schools, and it was very competitive. There's a stipend of $2,000 for the program, so it's a neat opportunity for students to be paid for learning as well as helping us to shape programming.
Okay. So when all the applications come in, how are they sorted through to find the 4 selected students?
Sure. The applications that really rose to the top of the pile and will rise to the top of the pile again this year are students who have a demonstrated interest and tell us why this topic is really important to them. Do you have experience or interest in meteorology or hazards or weather or climate change? Do you have a strong feeling that students and young people and community need to work together to make the environment safer and stronger and more resilient in the future? And what are some of the things that you've done in your past that show us that you have commitment and follow through when you take on a task, and that you're going to stick with it and do a lot of work with us over the coming year?
So what attributes will help a student earn a position at this internship?
Number 1 is going to be really dedication and passion to the idea, and how you can demonstrate that. But we're looking for students with a wide range of skills. So our programming, as I mentioned, uses science and art and dialogue. So somebody who has science skills and really is into the science of these issues is going to be a great asset to us in terms of doing research about the hazards. Somebody with great communication skills might help us shape and design programming, perhaps deliver presentations out in the community. Somebody with art skills might work with our art director to create visual exhibits. So there's a lot of different skills. If you have photography skills, if you have communication, if you have research skills, if you're a great writer, we could really use that kind of help.
So once selected, what types of things will the student be doing?
Sure. Our activities are scheduled essentially so that every month you'll have something that you're doing with us, and in between our scheduled activities, then we give you tasks and things that you can do back at home in research or in small groups. But in year 2, with the focus on mitigation, we'll really be looking outside the region and trying to bring in speakers and contact other communities, do online research to find out where places are putting their energy to become more resilient. So you might be helping us to identify some great case studies in other communities, like, hey, we found this really cool town that did a really neat community art project to bring awareness, or these people put in a really great sort of park that's also a stormwater retention pond, and bring those in. We'll be doing some hands-on emergency preparedness activities, so you might be helping to run community events where you get kids in the local community to come out with their parents and build their own preparedness kits or do something like that. The students who come this year will help us decide what are the activities we're going to do and come up with great ideas, like, here's a great way I think we could reach the community. And we want the Wilson students to bring out what they know about the best way to reach this community.
So what is the time commitment for this internship?
We generally have about 8 to 10 structured meetings, and we'll give you a schedule of those ahead of time. It's very important that you mark those on the calendar and make a strong commitment to those. We know that really active, engaged students often have sports and other activities, but because we have a fixed number of activities, it's important to us that you make a commitment. And then in between those, we might assign several hours of research during the course of a month. There might be some months that have a little bit more to do, but you should expect to be putting in a few hours of time every month on your own, as well as a few hours of meeting time.
Okay, so then if you have those meetings, how long will this internship last? Will it go past the school year?
Yes, we would really want students, ideally, who could be here at least through the summer to work with us. If you can't come and talk to us about it and let us know in the application, and it doesn't mean you won't be able to participate, but the internship, the first meeting would begin October 29th. That would be our kickoff, and we bring all 12 students together, get to know each other. The last event would happen in September or August of the following year, so almost a full year.
Okay. Why will this internship be beneficial for students?
This internship will be beneficial because students will be able to meet a really wide range of experts. We have connections and advisory team that is filled with scientists and meteorologists and people in high-ranking government positions. We created some great opportunities in the past year for students to meet with the area meteorologists who came and did a webinar with them, teaching them about forecast tools. So you get to meet really cool people who are doing great jobs. You also are really demonstrating leadership, that you are engaged part of your community and creating programming to make it stronger and refining your communication skills. And so we'll stay here with the students afterwards to make sure to tell people about all the great things you've done afterwards too.
So have any Wilson students in the past got this internship?
Yes. This is round 2 of the internship, and last year we selected 4 students from Wilson High who got to take hazard tours with us and spend day-long trips with us, kind of exploring the community and creating an exhibit. We have a large forum coming up on September 29th, and students last year interviewed residents and neighbors who had experienced hazards, and those stories are now going to be in our large community forum. So we enjoyed working with Wilson students last year very much.
Okay. So if you could say one thing to try to sway someone who's on the fence for applying for this internship, what would it be?
You will have a large hand in what it is that you do. If you're not quite sure if you want to do this or not, but you have some ideas about these issues and you really want to talk about climate and hazards and what the future is going to look like, this is your chance to help shape the way the community is going to respond to it. The next year of this project, starting in next September, we're going to hire artists. We're going to build a visual mural of the area and show what it might look like in a really resilient future. This is your chance to get your voice in that and say, here's where I'd like this community to go. And so it's a neat opportunity to be involved and make, I think, actual change. And it's really fun. We have a great time.
So I know there's a lot of debate going on right now about climate change.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, the debate shouldn't be about the science. The science is solid at this point, and there's a lot of scientific agreement. The debate is, in my mind, what do we do about it? And that's what this program is about. At a local level, we can't sit and wait for the federal government, we can't wait for the state government to make change, but as communities, we can decide how are we going to adapt to the changing weather patterns that we're going to have, how are we going to work to reduce carbon emissions, how are we going to become more resilient to floods, how are we going to deal with invasive species when they come, those sorts of things. And so the debate becomes, what's our best path forward?
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No,
about
other
this?
than we're really excited to see the applications from Wilson again this year and look forward to meeting another team of students, and hope we'll have a lot of fun.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. I'm Molly Veers for the Warrior News.